The 49ers had a 3-game losing skid earlier in the year against some teams that perhaps not as good. They're actually better than we thought. The Bengals winning without their good quarterback. The Browns, good Lord. And the Vikings continue to win even without their quarterback. Good teams, but 49ers should beat all 3 of them. Now you've lost to the Ravens, who arguably the best team in the NFL. Who are the 49ers going to be? Are you going to do another skid? You going to do another 3-game skid, or are you going to bounce back? I think they're going to handle everything the way that they should. This team is for real. And I'm excited. Coming off their worst performance, let's be real. 5 turnovers, 100 yards of penalties at home, prime time, second most watched game of the year for the entire NFL. Now you got to travel across the country to Washington. And you got to play a messed up team. It's a bad team. I'm just going to be honest. You're 13.5-point favorites currently. 2 touchdowns. You got to win by 2 touchdowns just to cover the spread. That's crazy. Washington lost 6 games in a row. They switched their quarterback, but now, injury reports just came out. Guess what? They switched to Jacoby Brissett. I call him Jacoby Brisket. So I got a couple emails like, his name's Brissett, right? Yeah, I'm from Texas. Sorry. Brisket is always in the front of my mind. I can't help it. But he tweaks his hamstring in practice, so he's questionable now. So is it going to be Sam Howell? He going to be back there slinging it, just being a crazy madman? Or is it going to be the seasoned vet who protects the ball and always does his job? Now the 49ers got to prepare for 2 guys. And so it's going to be fun. What's it like playing a team with nothing to lose? They've already fired their DC, new ownership, going to be firing Ron Rivera and starting over, bench their quarterback. Like, what is it that they got to play for? Here's what Kyle had to say.
I think all teams are scary, but especially in that situation. When people have nothing to lose, everyone, first of all, always has things to lose, because usually when people say there's nothing to lose, there's a lot of guys playing for their jobs too, and those guys know that. And even veterans who don't think that they are, they usually find out at the end of the season that they were. So you always got guys who are playing hard, and I know they're playing a quarterback who's won a lot of games in this league. I know they got some players on their defense, so they have just as good a chance to win every week as any other team.
Yeah, and so you got to be careful, man. In the NFL, it'll humble you. You overlook an opponent, you can get in trouble. I don't think the 49ers have really overlooked anybody all year. I don't think that's what has been the situation. So let's look at, Commanders are 4-11. Not good. 23rd in points scored. They score 20.6 points per game. 32nd, dead last out of 32 teams. They're giving up 30 points a game defensively. Now, if we look at the teams that the Commanders have played and the 49ers have played, the Commanders are 1-7 in common opponents. Not great. 49ers are 8-0 against those same teams. The Commanders minus 71 point differential against teams we played. 49ers plus 145 point differential against the teams the Commanders have played. So if we're just looking at, what did they do against common opponents? It's pretty bad. Their 4 wins, listen to the teams. They beat the Cardinals week 1, right? By 4 points. They beat the Broncos week 2 by 2 points. They started out 2-0. Everybody's, what's up? Dropped a bunch. They beat the Falcons in the middle part of the season. They beat the Patriots in the middle part of the season. They only have 1 win at home, and that was week 1. They haven't won at home. Haven't won at home. 6 consecutive losses, and it's not like they're playing, juggernauts. This is their losing streak. They lost to the Seahawks, Giants, Cowboys, Dolphins. Those are great teams. Rams, good teams. And then the Jets. The Jets beat them. So it's not like, they haven't beat one good team this year. They have 1 home win, and that was against the Cardinals without Kyler Murray. New coaching staff, new everything. It's not good. It's just bad. Now, flip side, 49ers 11-4. 11-4. 3rd in points scored, averaging 29.6 points per game. 2nd in points allowed, 17.8 points per game. They're handling business. Now, the last game was rough, but let's look at it from the PFF snapshot then, okay? Commanders, overall, 26th out of 32 teams. Not good. Defense, 23rd. Offense, 18th. Special teams, and this is where every team gets a leg up on the 49ers. They're 32nd. They're dead last. In fact, The Commanders are the only team in the NFL that has a worse special teams than the 49ers, who are at, guess what, number 31. That's it. So the one area where you would expect the Commanders to have an advantage over the 49ers, then you got that. Now, if we look at the rest of the PFF rankings for the 49ers overall, second, offense first, defense second, special teams 31st. So that's kind of where that goes. We'll see. I like this. Big Joe Sally says, all gas, no break. Commanders and Rams to the bye week. That's what I'm talking about. Ed, man, it's the NFL. Anything can happen. It can. It really, really can. There's no doubt about that. Appreciate you, Rob. Appreciate you, man. Melissa, glad to have you here. Ed, John, it looks like their starting corners are out for the game. Do you think this helps Jennings' replacement? I want Jennings' replacement to be Danny Gray. Get Danny Gray up there, man. That's what I want. Conley was the guy. Willie Snead was the guy. They cut Snead. We'll see. Are they going to make room for Danny Gray? I hope so. He had a great training camp. He's been healthy a while. I hope so. Because you got to do something. And, you know, let's jump real quick to the injury report. Excuse me. Let's do the 49ers first, okay? Because it's our team. Right off the bat, these are the out players, okay? Eric Armstead, Jair Brown, Juwan Jennings, Jalen Moore, Roz Dwelly. Those are the players that they're not playing. Now, here's good news. Armstead's out. Javon Hargrave was back last week. One of his best games he's had as a 49er, I thought, especially in the first quarter. He was great. Got tired, overused, getting back into football shape. Kind of played dissipated late in the fourth quarter. But that first quarter, it was awesome watching Javon Hargrave. Now, you add help. You go sign Sebastian Joseph Day, and here's Kyle talking about adding Day to the roster.
Yeah, we do. I mean, especially some of the injuries we've had, waiting on Armstead to hopefully be able to come back. We've been banged up there, and he's caused us a lot of problems over the years playing against him. So it's nice to get him in our building now, and especially at a time where we need some depth and we need some players.
So that it's huge, because here's what people don't understand. Kinlaw's been good. He has not increased his play with more snaps. Does that make sense? He's still playing well. He's playing above average defensive tackle, but really just you're getting 25 good snaps out of 45 snaps. So that's a problem. So now what you do is Day's going to take a lot of those snaps away from Kinlaw, I believe. And T.Y. McGill, he should not get any snaps at all. But he's hustling. He's a worker. I get it. He's a vet. But you know who's been the biggest surprise at the defensive tackle position? Going through the film, Kevin Givens. Kevin Givens is playing some great freaking football. If I had to rank the defensive tackles currently, I know Kinlaw's starting, and I don't have a problem with that. Kinlaw has played worthy of that. Kevin Givens is playing some damn good football. Really, really good. So now you got Givens, now you got Kinlaw, now you got Hargrave. Now you add in Sebastian Joseph Day. All right, now. I'm cool with that. I got no problems with that rotation at all. And whenever you do get Armstead back, who was the best defensive player the last two playoff stretches that we have had, that's playoff Armstead now. That's playoff Armstead. And so that's big. I'm excited about that. Now, Jair Brown, that's huge. And right here, my man Oscar says, I have two questions. New starting safety. Anyone interested in bringing Wilson as a backup? All right, let's talk about safety. Jair Brown's out. Let me just tell you this right now. Jair Brown was terrible. Absolutely terrible. He was so bad. And I like Jair Brown. I'm excited about the long-term potential there. They blitzed him 3 plays in a row. Couldn't do that. Twice he had unblocked. Twice. And couldn't get Lamar Jackson. One time he didn't even touch him. He wasn't even blocked. Put him in coverage, man. Burnt. Biggest pass play of the game was against him. And then he missed the tackle after he got burnt. Just Jair Brown was bad. Played the whole game and then was hurt afterwards. He's out. I don't know. I'm kind of worried about him. Hopefully he goes next week and he can get out there and get that bad taste out of his mouth, because I don't want a rookie sitting dwelling on that terrible game for too long. I do not want that. I need him to play next week against the Rams, because I don't want him sitting this week sitting next week. Then we get the bye week sitting 3 weeks and then playing playoff football with a month of having bad tape in your head. I don't want that. So I really hope he comes back. Logan Ryan's probably going to be the starter. Isaiah Oliver's going to be the backup. Yeah, Taylor Hawkins. Do you call him up for the practice squad? Oh, boy. It's not great. Not great. But this is the NFL. Every single team is having issues. But the problem is we're stacking issues. We've corrected the defensive tackle problem. Hargrave came back. Givens has played up. Kinlaw has played up. Now you got Sebastian Joseph Day. I ain't concerned about defensive tackle anymore. I'm not concerned. That's handled. Safety, you lose Talanoa Hufanga. You lose George Odom, who I don't like at safety anyway. He's more of a special teams guy, but I'd take him over Logan Ryan. Now you lose Jair Brown. So you lost 3 safeties. 3. Not good.
The 49ers Rush Podcast.